Hey, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I am going to get right into our homeownership pre-planning and much, much more. Listen, this is the best time for you to consider graduating into land ownership. So, why are we talking about land ownership? Because land is versatile. It's also very marketable, and it's also a commodity because it's not making a whole lot of land anymore. Matter of fact, I don't know of any place in this earth where they have the capacity or the capability to produce more land. So we're talking about how things are operating as of today. It's limited commodity, which makes it extremely valuable. Okay, so we talk about graduate to land ownership. We are talking about the way that we can benefit from becoming landowners. Now, a lot of you already own real estate and you already have these two books, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More. And you also have the corporate comprehensive curriculum for new business owners. Keyword, easy corporate comprehensive business owner. Why are these two related? This book helps you to overcome limitations that people are sometimes exposed to when they want to acquire real estate and they run out of qualifying capacity. What may happen is that they may bottleneck and not be able to qualify because of debt to income limitations. Okay, so what we do in this book is firstly, we teach you how to become a landowner or a real estate owner or homeowner. We teach you some of the key components that are necessary if you're trying to qualify as an individual. But we also show you how you can qualify as a corporation, how you can create a separate entity that will be everything that you're not to qualify to purchase unlimited real estate or land. Then we talk to you about the versatile ways that you can utilize land. If you just want to buy land, which I would advise, because there are various ways that you can profit from purchasing land. You already own a home, but you want to purchase some land. There are some things that you can do with land to monetize the land. Or you may want to build your home on that land and then subdivide a portion of it to monetize. Those are things that we talk about in this book, but we also show you formulas that you can utilize to help you understand how to prepay your interest for any long-term loan that you may have. It also talks about in this book ways that you can calculate whether or not a refinance or a HELOC that you're getting is one that's going to be beneficial to you and your financial goals. We talk about how you can determine interest and sort of give you an idea of amounts that you may need to deposit. And if you're trying to come up with a down payment and you want to know the initial amount that you need to deposit, we talk to you about that and we show you ways that you can get that done in that book as well. And we show you ways that you can calculate the amount that you should deposit prior to and the amount that you could possibly gain over time. So I'm hoping that those two books are beneficial to you. Again, that's Homeownership, Pre-Planning, and Much, Much More, as well as the Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into making sure that our Facebook audience is aboard. And we've also got YouTube that's tuned in. So we are going to plow full speed ahead. So I want to show you guys something. There is a property that I want you all to see. Now, I'm not sure if I can open it up to you, but I'm going to give it a try here and see if there is a way that we can open it up to you so that you can see what we're looking at. And the reason why I want to show this to you is because I want you to see the benefit of this particular piece of property. It is a gold mine. The property is really nice. I don't even know if it's still available. It may not be available any longer because, you know, we talked about it last week. And, you know, once you put something on blast like that, then of course people come along and they purchase it. But it was 100 acres of land, and it was listed by my broker, and I think it may have been in conjunction with someone else But I know that it was listed by my broker, and I really, really, really wanted you guys to see that property. I'm going to check to see if we still have access to it so I can show you that property and you guys can take a look at it. It's 100 acres of land again, and it is a gorgeous piece of property. And I want you to be available. I'll have to come back to it to show it to you guys. Because I want to make sure, again, it's 100 acres of land. It was in Fayette, Alabama. And what I did recently was I showed it off, and I walked people through a video of it so they could see how beneficial that property was. Okay, so just to give you a general idea, it was beautiful land. You had pasture land, you had hunting grounds, you had there are streams that are available on that land. Again, it's 100 acres of land in Fayette County, Alabama. And also, what you can take advantage of in that land is that when you purchase it, you can also subdivide certain parts of it so that you can actually make it available to people, or you can lease out certain portions of it, if that makes sense, so that you actually can gain income. And it's 100 acres of land, and it's listed for only $310,000. So you get a chance to benefit from maximizing in the benefits of owning that land. I mean, you just can't lose. You can't lose. It's very beneficial to anybody that will take advantage. And the reason why I want you guys to be aware of those type deals is because you may decide that you will get involved with a group of people, purchase that land. Let's say you want to get involved with a group of people. Let me just show it to you. I want to show it to you. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. So we're talking about 100 acres of land in Fayette County, Alabama. Now, be patient with me because people tune into this for various reasons. Some people are interested because they want to purchase a home for themselves. Trust me, we can help you with that, especially if you've been running into barriers. So you say, well, how can you guys benefit me? Well, firstly, we show you how to get the best interest rates that are available to you, where to seek for those things. We also show you, if you're refinancing, how to determine whether or not that refinance or HELOC is going to be beneficial to you in your financial goals. We show you how to determine compound interest. Let's say you want to purchase a house in maybe 2 years or something from now, and you need to understand how to put that money together. We show you how to do that in this book right here, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More. Also, we offer a class, Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for new business owners. Now, what this is about is for those people who want to purchase property, they just can't seem to qualify for whatever reasons it's not working for them. We show you how to form an entity, a corporation, to be everything that you're not, so that you can qualify to purchase real estate, the real estate that you desire. Whether it's a home, a residence that you want to live in, whether it's this 100 acres of land that I'm showing you now, whether or not it's a quadruplex that you want to purchase to create non-performance income for yourself. And it is very easy. It's not very difficult. It's easy. And in this course, you only pay for, so we send you a syllabus when you register for the course. You only pay for the weeks and the subjects that you are interested in. And you don't have to pay for all of it. You just pay for the weeks that you're interested in, the subjects that you're interested in, that you see in the syllabus. And you pay prior to the class, just before class. So that way you've not lost any money. You've not prepaid for something, and now something is happening, you can't attend the class. Of course, if that did happen, then we just make it up, and you just come in on the next class date. We have a group class, and we have individual courses that we teach of that. When you finish that course, you would have been incorporated. You would have had your documents already recorded. We would have set you up with your general ledger, with your showing you how to understand your financial statements, how to prepare them, how to get them ready for your bookkeeper or for your CPA. We show you how to hire yourself if that's what you want to do in order to qualify. We show you how to help your company qualify. We put you in touch with venture capitalists and non-qualifying mortgage lenders that specialize in making their underwriting guidelines flexible for corporations so that they can purchase real estate. Okay, so I'm about to put on my realtor's hat. So everything I talked to you about has to do with purchasing real estate. But I want you to know in that Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners, we teach you how to purchase big ticket items. But now that I've got my realtor's hat on, we're talking about purchasing real estate. So as we look at this 100 acres of land, I'm not going to go through all the 150, excuse me, all 52 pages of this advertisement, but I just want you to see like the natural pine that's on the land. And for some of you, you don't understand that pine is also a valuable commodity. And this is already on this land. Okay. There's natural pine. There's other hardwood that's there on the property. That's also beneficial. There's a large area where that was a home site. So if you wanted to build on this land, this 100 acres of land in Fayette County, Alabama, that's listed by my broker, Jonathan Berryhill, you could do that. You could go ahead and you could list excuse me, I'm sorry, you could build your home on that particular property if you decided to purchase this property. There are nice streams that are running along the property, which also makes the property very valuable. And now listen, it's 100 acres. So I want you to understand you could subdivide a portion of that land to lease to energy companies. Energy is really big right now. During this administration, energy is big, 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 big. So if you've got some land that you want to subdivide, maybe subdivide, 20, 30 acres of land from your home site that you can then lease to energy companies, solar companies, what have you, that are interested in leasing your land. They sign long-term leases once they've done their feasibility study. Or you may want to sell a portion of the land to a developer that will pay you top dollar for a portion of the land once you buy it. And remember, this land is only $310,000 for 100 acres, people. I hope that you're hearing me. So you have enough to build your home, and you have enough to build an agricultural community, and then you have enough to also subdivide and lease for profitability. There's yellow poplar and sweet gum that's along the stream, and all of these are valuable assets. You got this beautiful open field that's here, and I think it has been used for agriculture, and it can be used for agriculture. So I'm going to stop sharing, but I'm hoping that you guys have seen this and understand the benefits. So you say, okay, well, it's $310,000. And I know, when we're spending that kind of money, $300,000, $400,000, we want to purchase a home that we can live in. We're not thinking about land. But here's the key. You can purchase this land, have your home constructed on it, create revenue, non-performance income to pay for your house. The possibilities are endless. You may decide to subdivide it so that you have non-income production going on in two different areas of your land. It's making money for you while you're sleeping. They've signed a long-term lease with you. And you've got your house that's there on the property. Okay, so I'm hoping that was a great assistance to you, and we are going to move on. If you got any questions and you are in this Zoom with me, make yourself known by posting your questions in the chat, and I will take a look at them. And also, I want to take a look at Facebook to make sure there's no comments that I am missing that may be beneficial for you guys, because I want to make sure that while you're here, while you're using your time to join us, that you are benefiting from the information that's being shared. Okay, so this is not a regular class of 1, 2, 3. This is how you purchase property. No, this is a way to show you how to expand beyond the limitations that you've probably seen when you're talking about purchasing real estate. Now, last week we talked about understanding the cost of homeownership, things like down payment, the difference between down payment and closing costs. We also talked about private mortgage insurance and where that's necessary. We talked about closing costs and the percentage of closing costs that you can be expected. We talked about grants that are available. down payment assistance that will pay your down payment, and then grants that I'm aware of that I provide to a lot of my clients when they get ready to close that will help them with their down payment. So you've got the down payment assistance, the DPAs, and then there are some grants that are available that will help you with your closing costs, and they are acceptable by particular underwriters depending on who they are and what the situation. Okay, we talked about ongoing costs like HOA fees, maintenance and repairs. We talked about how to determine your monthly mortgage payment and how to separate it from the principal and interest. Now, these things are elementary to some people, but to some people they're not aware of. So last week we talked about the costs involved with home ownership, okay, and how to plan and how to budget for that. This week, some other things we talked about was understanding and knowing when and how to assess whether or not you keep renting or whether or not you start to begin your plan of buying property. And again, we use this book, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More, when we're in this course, okay? And we also use this book, Easy Corporate Curriculum for New Business Owners, in this course because it helps you with the things that will benefit you in purchasing property. So let's talk about financial planning and strategy, okay? Financial planning and strategies. All right. So when we take a look at the setting a goal. So you know you want to purchase property. You want to set a goal as to your time frame. So some tools that you can use to set a goal is you want to use a mortgage calculator. So I talked to you in this book about how to calculate your mortgage payment and the amount of monthly interest. So they give you your APR, and I show you a calculation in this book as to how you determine the monthly interest that you are going to be incurring and how to prepay that to pay down your mortgage principal. Because what happens is if you prepay the interest on your mortgage, which is actually billed you're paying it in arrears, you prepay it, it's going to reduce the amount of interest that's going to be due for your next payment, which will allow more of that payment to be applied towards the principal that's paying it off early. Now, this is not the same as doubling up or paying additional payment towards your mortgage payment. This is prepaying the interest to reduce the amount of interest that you're paying and more of the money being applied towards the principal. So you set a goal using a mortgage calculator, and in that mortgage calculator, what you want to do is understand how to determine your debt to income ratio. We talk about that in this book. We talk about how you can determine your debt to income ratio. There's a formula in here for that. And also it has the different brief underwriting guidelines for specific various mortgages that you may apply for, whether it be conventional, whether it be FHA, whether it be different types of FHA or conventional loans. It has the brief underwriting guidelines as to the DTI for those type of mortgages, whether it be VA loan. It has the debt to income ratio requirement. And so you understand how to keep your debt to income within a certain ratio, but it also shows you how to calculate your debt to income ratio. So you know how to figure that up. You understand exactly how to determine what your debt to income ratio is. Okay, so suppose your debt to income ratio is too high. That is why we teach the course Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners, because we show you how to bypass the limited constrictions that are placed on an individual's income and how to qualify underneath your corporation and how that's done. So if you want to look at that book, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More, to get a detailed formula and explanation for how to determine your debt to income ratio, go to page 71 in that book. And on page 71, it gives you a detailed explanation of how to calculate your debt to income ratio. So you know exactly where you are and what the underwriters are going to be looking for. Now, a lot of people have issues with their credit ratings right now. They've got a lot of medical bills and other things that are prohibiting them, student loans and other things that are prohibiting them, which is the other reason why we help you to form your own corporation, so that in forming that corporation, you bypass all the limitations that are placed on individuals and you broaden your ability to be able to purchase real estate, if that makes sense, because you're going to be purchasing as a corporation. Okay, I'm checking. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm going to keep moving forward. All right. I'm going to come back and show y'all that 100 acres of land because I want you to dream. 100 acres of land for $310,000. You got to understand in your mind how you can expand by making that investment. And it's a little different when you're just purchasing a single family residence. Of course, whatever way you want to buy your real estate, I can help you as a licensed realtor. All right, so we talked a little bit about the debt to income ratio, and you want to build in 3 to 6 months of emergency funds that will help you when you come up with unexpected costs that's involved. And you can do that by using some type of automated savings, something that will directly take out a certain percentage from your income each month without you having to do it yourself. Or you can maximize on some of the benefits of accounts that have accruing interest, market accounts. You might want to get an IUL, but if you're going to do that, you want to use the calculation that's in this book to help you determine what you need to do in terms of compound interest. And you can find that on page 63, page 62, all the way through page 65 in this book, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More. What it shows you is the amount of money that you deposit up front to get to the point where you want to get. It also shows you how to determine what the compound interest will be. But first, you have to get one of those accounts that's actually interest bearing in that way with compounding. Okay, and it lists certain types of account that are compound interest account, compounded annually, some are compounded daily, depending on what the upfront deposit is. Those types of things are in this book, Homeownership Pre-Planning, Much, Much More. And I'm going to tell you why I started out giving the calculations during this class, but this is a public class. So if you take the private class that I offer, there's a fee for that. You can take it in a group or you can take it individually. The reason why I don't do it here online is because there are some limitations and some constraints as to showing formulas and rates of interest and increasing amounts and all of that. It can be a violation. So I present the book to you because when you go to the book, through the book, it gets directly to the point with the different calculations that are going to be necessary, different guidelines for VA loans, for FHA loans, for conventional loans, and variation of conventional loans, hard money loans, and what that means. It's not predatory lending. FHA lenders, all of that's in here. VA loans, and then it talks about the underwriting guidelines for those who may be self-employed. It also gives you an idea of how the underwriters determine how to underwrite your qualify your self-employment income, which is why we teach you in the same book how to incorporate so that you'll be considered a totally separate entity from yourself. Your taxes won't pass through that of the corporations. Your assets are separate from the corporations. Your credit rating does not have any bearing on the corporation. We show you how to create an entity that can qualify to purchase unlimited amounts of real estate, depending on how you set it up. So when we look at financial planning, we want to look at, firstly, we talked about setting a goal. That means identify your type of home ownership and the timeline that you want to use to get in that property. Because if you don't do it, if you don't take that first step, we'll always be talking about you want to purchase real estate. You've been thinking about purchasing real estate, but you'll never get to that point. You'll be talking about, I've been thinking about investing in real estate. But I want to mention to you that in this course that we offer, Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners, we also introduce you to venture capitalists. Now, I'm not talking about we just give you a list and then we just leave you there. I'm saying to you, not only do we introduce you to the venture capitalists, we walk you through putting your package together according to their guidelines. If you've looked at some of our previous postings that we've done, we actually posted, we put up on the screen a list of venture capitalists that we work with. We talked about some that we preferred and what they require in order, and it's not hard at all because you're doing it as a corporation. It's so much easier when you want to purchase real estate as a corporation, but I can help you if you want to purchase it as an individual or as a corporation. I'm just offering you an additional way to purchase if you've been pushed out, if you've been closed out. There are other ways to purchase real estate. Okay, so I don't want to get hung up in that if that's not where your interest is. But I'm telling you, you're not limited. That's all I'm saying to you. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about setting a timeline, go ahead and start investing in real estate or buying your own real estate or purchasing land. See, a lot of people understand the urgency. They're beginning to understand that they need to own their own land. Yes, you own a house, you're buying a house, you're paying for a house. It's in a neighborhood that's got a HOA, or it's in a neighborhood that um, will create problems when you try to grow your own vegetation. But if you own your own land that you can fence off, land that you have control over, multiple acres of land, you can begin to monetize that land. You can subdivide it so that a portion of it has your house on it, a portion of it has been subdivided for you to um, create non-performance income through leasing it, through agricultural situation, all kinds of ways, all types of situations and ways that you can earn revenue easily. We're not talking about something that's going to be hard, time consuming, using up more energy than what you have. We walk you through the entire process, which makes it easy. So we talked about tools that you need to have in order to set a clear goal in your timeline for purchasing real estate. Listen, the very first thing you want to determine is I can. And I'm talking to the person who already owns real estate, but you want to purchase some more real estate. The answer is yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you have to get that I can in your spirit. I can. I can own multiple parcels of real estate. I can use real estate to benefit. I can actually invest in real estate by purchasing additional land in addition to the home that I have. And there is a way to do it so that the investment that I've made brings a swift return. My broker talked about how it's beneficial to flip land. And one of the ways that I know personally that it's beneficial to flip land, I sold land to someone earlier, well, in 2024. They bought that land and they immediately repurposed it and began to sell it. They bought it, and within a week, they had repurposed the land. What I mean by repurpose, I don't mean they didn't have to make any kind of improvements on that land. They simply changed the purpose in which the land was intended, which gave them an opportunity to maximize in the value of the land. And then they marketed it and sold it. They didn't have to make any improvements. So for those of you who have been buying homes and flipping them, I know it works because I've done it. But here's the thing. If you buy land, there are no improvements that you have to make. You can repurpose that land, turn around and market it for a different purpose, and possibly gain an increase in your profits. Just throwing that out there. Not opposed to selling you a beautiful home, the home of your dreams. But I'm just saying, if you purchase the land, you can use it for multiple purposes, including putting your house on it and using it to create non-performance revenue, income that's coming in. Going to need multiple streams of revenue because what's happening is things are happening to people's income. And I want to say to you also that I can list your property and help you get the maximum amount that you want to get for your property. This is a wonderful time to even list your home, to sell it. An excellent time, because just as you need to sell that property, there are so many people that need to purchase your property. So it is the perfect time to either buy or to sell real estate. And I am your person. Okay. All right. So here we go. We help you with different comparable reports in terms of the market. So that if you're interested in selling your property or purchasing property, and if you want to set up a timeline to do it, that report that we prepare for you helps you to understand how you want to set your timeline up to either purchase real estate or purchase a home, purchase land, or to list it for sale. Okay. So in this, whenever we get together every week, we try to touch upon 7 different parts that are necessary to purchase or to sell real estate. One of the ways that you need to set up is you need to have financial planning strategies. This would be point number 3, because we discussed other points in prior engagements in prior weeks to today when we come on. So what is your desired timeline for purchasing a home? Now, we just talked about the way that you determine that. And then once you come up with the desired timeline and you've researched median home prices in the area that you prefer, then you want to review your financial health, which is what we just talked about. Looking at your monthly expenses, your saving rate, understanding what your first steps are, how to track your income and expenses, and how to save each month, how to know what your debt to income ratio is. And this book not only shows you how to calculate your debt to income ratio, but it also shows you briefly through the variation of companies that are available to finance you, which company you may, which loan, type of loan you may qualify for. Okay. This book always also has a list of non-qualifying lenders in here for real estate. And so we're not talking about predatory lenders. We're talking about lenders who have more flexible underwriting guidelines to help individuals that have non-traditional finance arrangement or their business owners. So in addition to the venture capitalists that we introduce you to, when you take this course, Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners, you also have the list that's free and available in this book of non-qualifying home mortgage lenders. So if you buy this book, and the only reason why you want to get it is because you want that list of non-qualifying mortgage lenders that have underwriting guidelines that are more flexible. Their interest rates are not predatory, but they have been set up to finance people with less traditional forms of income, or their business owners or corporation owners. It will be worth you buying this book. And when you buy the book, if that's all you want, go all the way back to page 164. And there you will find from page 164 to page 168 a list of 15 different non-qualifying mortgage lenders that will loan to you the money to purchase real estate, whether you're purchasing your own home or whether you're purchasing real estate for investment purposes, whether you want to purchase land or whether you want to purchase property with improvements on it, meaning, a building on it, your home or commercial. This book will benefit you in that way. If all you do is purchase it for that purpose, you hit pay dirt. Homeownership pre-planning and much, much more. You can find these on Amazon.com. Okay. So I think we have gone through, we talked about the debt to income ratio and how you can understand your financial health. We also explained how you could build emergency revenue so that you have funds for emergencies. And underwriters like to see you have a little bit more funds in reserve beyond the amount of funds that you need to close. You want to keep those funds separate in something similar almost to an escrow account. You want to keep them separate so that they're not commingled and they don't automatically get used, because you're going to be taking a certain percentage of your income and it's going to automatically be going into variation of the high yield savings accounts, which we also list in this book, Homeownership Pre-Planning and Much, Much More, various different accounts that you can use that pay a high yield, that pay compound interest. And in the book, it shows you how to calculate the compound interest. Why do I not do it on here? Well, when I started doing it, I was doing it on here. And then I found out from Facebook that there are some things when you talk about finance that they don't necessarily want you to post in your live, but you can certainly talk about a way that you can teach people on an individual basis. So that's why I let you know that it's available, that it's in the book, and it's also in Stead IT on a private basis or in a group setting. So when you're talking about budgeting, you want to allocate consistently towards your savings goals. It can be small amounts, small increments, but it's going to help you to track your savings. But also you want to have like a spreadsheet for yourself that will help you reduce expenses. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people, they just don't want it. You just want it to fall out of the sky. But if it falls out of the sky and you haven't planned for it, Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. It'll be a blessing from the Lord. The problem is you won't be prepared to keep it. And that's what we talk about in this class. We talk about ways to not only put you in a position to purchase the real estate, but ways that will help you keep the real estate. So when you set up just a simple spreadsheet, it's real simple. You can track your expenses and it will cause you to start living more frugally because the future is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen by the end of the day. You may go into work and things may be different on the job. The way that your clients that you normally service in terms of income, that their needs may change. So you want to always be placing revenue on the side in accounts that are going to be accruing um, interest, but at a high yield, kind of aggressive, so that you can begin to build up in such ways. I hate to keep mentioning this, but I don't hate to keep mentioning it because the book has the information in it and you need it and it'll benefit you. Amazon.com, homeownership, pre-planning, and much, much more. If you can't remember the name of it, just look up Jacqueline Babbitt on Amazon.com and you'll see all of the books that I've authored, specifically these two. Right. So as you're tracking your expenses, you're also in some cases, you're beginning to do some side hustles and you're taking that money and you're saving it. You're negotiating, lowering some rates on some bills that you're also benefiting from cashback apps and coupons that you're getting. I'm telling you, every little bit, you are now about to change your life into a saving machine. Why are you saving it? Not just to be putting it in some family account, but you want to put it in a high yield savings account. And we teach you in this book how to determine how to calculate your compound interest. We give you a list of accounts that accrue compound interest. So you know how to make that plan. And in most cases, it's like, well, I don't know how to do that. They're not paying enough at my bank. And I just don't know how to do that. Well, that book teaches you how to do that. You always want to adapt the 50-30-20 rule. 50% needs to go towards essential housing, utilities, and groceries. 30% are things that you may want. They're non-essentials like dining out and entertainment. And then your 20% should go towards your savings and any debt repayment. And before you ask any questions, I do believe in tithing, which is why you can take a portion of that 30% for your non-essentials like dining out and entertainment and make sure that right off the top, you scoop 10% of that and release it into the blessing realm of tithing. So I want to make sure that you understand that I am a tither. And so when you adopt the 50-30-20 rule, it's a guideline that you can use to help you realize where your funds are going, what's happening with your funds. Okay. We talk about ways that you can pay down your debt. You may not want to pay off credit cards, but if they're high interest debt, you may want to pay them down, or you may want to consider paying them off, depending on how beneficial they'll be when it comes time for you to qualify. If you're trying to qualify as an individual, now if you want to set up a corporation and you just create an entity that now has all of the qualifications that you don't have, and qualify financially, can qualify as far as ratings are concerned to purchase big ticket items, which is I'm talking about real estate because I got my realtor's hat on today. Then you want to take that course, Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners, so we can show you quickly how to set it up. We've had some testimonials that have been on here, people that we helped years ago, decades ago, few years ago. We each month we try to have someone on to talk to you about how we have helped them over the years. I am thankful to say that we've been doing this since 1993. So there are several companies that we have helped along the way, and we've helped them not only form, but they're still in business. We help them in ways to understand how to capitalize, what to do when they get in trouble, all of those things we teach. Okay. So you want to know the rate of interest that you're paying on your current debt. We show you how to calculate what the amount of monthly interest you're paying towards your monthly debts. It's really important. We talk about budgeting tips and things that you can do to track expenses. things that you can do in terms of investing. So you also want to decide, what type of home do I want? If I'm going to purchase a home, determine what type of home you want, because where you want it to be located. Determine the amount of down payment and monthly expenses that are going to be involved with that house. That's if you're going to buy it yourself individually. And I think about 6 weeks ago, we talked about, let's say you decide that you want to purchase it yourself, but you want to purchase it as an employee of your company. You have a company, it's been a sole proprietorship or a partnership for years, but now you want to incorporate it so that it's a separate entity. And the money that you've been making from that corporation, you can now substantiate it by showing or reflecting how that corporation is paying you a consistent salary that is sufficient enough to qualify for the homes that you want to purchase. There's a way to get that done. And it's easy. So we are going to get ready to back out of here. And I'm hoping that this information has helped you in various ways. We talked about budgeting tips and saving today. We talked about financial plan strategies that you can use, understanding what your debt to income ratio is, understanding what the underwriters are going to be looking for. We directed you through this book for all of those things because they show you a calculation of how to prepare yourself to purchase a home, to qualify to purchase a home, whether you're going to buy it as an individual or whether or not you are going to create a corporation, which we help you do that in order to qualify in ways that you wouldn't have been able to do individually. This book helps you with that. Then it also helps you post-purchase, after you've closed, to be able to pay off that loan. And it shows you how to apply more payments towards the principal and the optimal time for that. But it also shows you how to prepay the interest, mortgage interest, that's actually being charged or paid in the arrears. So if you pay the mortgage interest in the arrears and you prepay it, it reduces the amount of interest that you are due to pay on your next payment, which allows more of the payment you make to be applied towards thus paying it off sooner than the amortization. All of that's in this book, including the list of non-qualifying mortgage lenders. They're not predatory. Their interest rates are not higher. They're just accustomed to catering to people who have non-traditional income coming in or their business owners. There are 15 of those in here. If you just buy the book for that reason, it's going to benefit you. And the reason why I'm pushing the book now is because there are certain calculations I am not allowed to teach you online on Facebook. I can teach you in the course that I teach step by step. And we go through utilizing the calculator, the financial calculator. But if you don't have a financial calculator, we also show you how to determine it on a regular calculator. This is a financial calculator. It's the very one that you see on the front of that book. But if you don't have a financial calculator, then we show you how to determine with using your regular calculator. Today we talked about financial planning. We talked about steps to saving. Last week we talked about understanding the cost of homeownership and saving for homeownership and how do you financially plan for that? What does it look like? What are some of the questions that may arise or things that may be required of me that I'm not prepared for? We talked about being able to assess whether or not renting or buying was the right choice for you, because it's not always the right choice for people as they find themselves certain circles. So I am going to put in this link down here, a way that you can register for the course if you are interested in the group course that we teach to show you how to form your own corporation. That's what you're interested in, so that you can utilize that to qualify to purchase big ticket items. Specifically today, got my realtor's hat on, so I'm talking about ways to help you qualify purchase. This is the other link, is if you interested in taking the course, but you want to do it on an individual basis so that you are not exposing your personal information to, those who may be in the group class and they're hearing you ask specific questions, and it's exposing your information. You may not want to do that. So, and I'm also going to put the link down here to the books that I've talked about. And I want you to know that there are ebooks available for every one of these paperbacks. There are ebooks available, and the ebooks actually are set up where they talk to text, so they actually can orate. They can read the book to you. Now, the homeownership pre-planning, you might not want to use that mechanism in the homeownership pre-planning. And the reason why you may not want to use that mechanism is because if you use that, it's going to confuse you when it comes to the calculation. Yeah, it's going to be real confusing when it comes to the calculation. So you may not want to use it for the calculation. That might not be the wise side. But in the other book, the Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners, feel free to get either the ebook or the hard copy. Again, the ebook will read to you. It's got talk to text. You can put that talk to text on, or text to talk, text to speech, and it will read that book to you. Text to speech will read that book to you. Hard copy is available for you to take notes, and there's spaces in there where you can take notes, where you can learn. The courses that we teach, they walk you through so that midways the course, you are already incorporated. And now we're setting you up with all of your accounts. We're setting you up with your financials, showing you how to tackle your financial statements, how to prepare them, how to speak to an accountant, how to do all of that. We show you how to set up your general ledger. We walk you through all of that. We introduce you to the venture capitalists and help you with getting approved with them. We show you and walk you through the list of the non-qualifying mortgage lending institutions, so that when you get ready to purchase real estate through your corporation, you are completely prepared with everything that you could possibly need. That's what this course is all about. Homeownership pre-planning and much, much more. I'm hoping that we have covered everything that you need. I'm going to look, make sure. Now I'm about to show you that house, that land, one more time. Everybody didn't get a chance to read that. And let me just tell you, next week we're going to be talking about, in the homeownership pre-planning, graduate to becoming a landowner. We're going to be talking about the different FHA loans for first-time buyers. We're going to be talking about the down payment assistance programs that are available. And I'm going to give you some information about the grants that are available, even for a portion of your closing costs. Get ready to close. So we'll be talking about that, but we'll also be talking about building a timeline for your savings. Short-term, mid-term, long-term. Short-term being 6 months, mid-term being 6 to 24 months, long-term being 2 years and plus, to help you understand how you need to have a certain amount of money up front, which will help you in getting your pre-approval and just having a smooth transaction. That doesn't mean that you can't still get the down payment assistance. You can. And it doesn't mean that you won't be qualified to get some of the grants that are available to help towards a portion of your down payment. Your closing cost. We're going to also talk about emotional preparation and discipline, because you got to change some of the ways that you're doing things. Even if you've purchased property before, if you're getting ready to expand into investing into more property, it's going to change some things that you're going to be doing, and you're going to want to redirect some of the ways that you've been conducting yourself. But I want you to know, if you're a biblical person, now is the time. Now is the time for you to possess the land. God has a specific time that you possess the land. He told his children in the word of God in Deuteronomy 1:8, he said, see, I've given you this land. Go in and take and possess the land as the Lord swore that he would give to your ancestors. Somebody's got some land that's been promised to your ancestors. You don't even know anything about it, but you got to get in your mind that you can. And once you get it in your mind that you can, then you'll be led by forces that dwell within you to arise and to go forth. Every brick in your dream starts with a belief. You have to believe that I can do this. I can build this life. I can. Somebody says, I can do all things through Christ. This is the time. If you're a believer, you understand this is the time. If you already possess land, it's time for you to possess more, to get yourself in a position where you have greater security. Okay. And for those of you who are renting, don't feel bad about that position. I understand what that's like. I understand that you can undergo some things. You can undergo foreclosures. You can undergo sicknesses. You can undergo financial situations. You can be somebody that's renting and you own real estate. You own real estate. Somebody's occupying your real estate or you're leasing it out to agricultural companies. My family and I have that situation where we're leasing our land to corporations that are now paying us to lease that land. Okay, so we can't occupy that land that we own because we leased it all out to them. That's non-performance income that's coming in. It comes in annual increments. It comes in 5-year increments. It just depends on how you set it up in the agreement that you set up. Then every 5 years or so, you get this windfall. But at the time, you're not able to occupy the land that you own, but it's still creating non-performance income, possibly for your retirement. It just depends on how your life is set up. So that means that you have to take from your revenue to pay for the roof over your head, and you may be renting. But that doesn't mean that you can't make it work. There's a way to work it out. And we're here to show you multiple ways to work it out because there's no one way to own real estate. Okay. Now, I promised you I was going to show you that land again. So let's get to it. Find it again. By the way, this land is 100 acres. It's in Fayette County, Alabama. Okay. I want you to take a look at how beautiful this is. Again, it's got natural pine on it. Okay. Pine is a valuable commodity that people will purchase from you. Okay. It's got pre-merchantable hardwood on it, which means that it's not available, it's not prepared, it's not quite cultivated and prepared to be marketed yet, but it's on that land as a profitable commodity. And so after a period of time, it will be ready for someone to come in and harvest and to purchase from you. So you're going in with all type of assets, commodities that are available that you'll be able to use now and in the future. Some that's not ready yet, but it's still considered a valuable commodity. I want you to get a good look at this land. This is a benefit. It's 100 acres of land. It's in Fayette County, Alabama. And if it's still available, it's listed for $310,000. I showed it to you guys last week, which is why I'm saying it's still available. If you're interested, give me a call. Can you see there's an interior road that runs down the center of the property. So you get a chance to take a look and assess the property going right down the center. There's also a road that's on the southwestern part of the property, giving you an opportunity to assess that property in various ways. There's another interior road on the southern portion of the property. And there's an interior road on the northern portion of the property. So you're getting a chance to look at this property internally from various angles. And I'm going to keep talking to you about the natural pine that's on this property in various locations. Because as it grows and strengthens, it becomes marketable. It's a valuable commodity. If you're a person that favors deer trails because you want to hunt, that's available on this land as well. Again, now let your mind wander. Purchase that land, certain portion of it you survey off, maybe 5 acres, so you can build your house on. You survey another portion of it so that you can have agriculture, grow your own, Yeah, you can hire some interns hmm, from the university that major in agriculture. Hmm? And they can come and build that for you and prepare that land for agriculture, for growing. Yeah. If you know anything about hiring interns, especially if you're a company, corporation, they need people to enlist and to hire some of their students in certain majors for certain industries as interns. If you're a company, a corporation, this is a sweet deal for you. So you can survey a certain portion of it for agriculture, for livestock. Hmm? And then you can survey another portion of it to lease to energy companies. You can have a deal going with multiple companies on separate, parcels of land when you subdivide. You're talking about 100 acres of land that you have to work with. And that land that you lease, that we walk you through, because that's what we do, you can set up non-performance income, and they will prepay you if they do a feasibility study and they see that the land's going to be beneficial to what they want to do. Then they'll enter into a lease agreement whereby they prepay you for a certain portion or term of the lease. I sold some land to a developer. That developer was coming from Atlanta, Georgia. I sold them some land in Alabama. They immediately repurposed that land and began to sell it right after we closed, like a week later. There's also all types of hardwood that's on this land. I'm just trying to give you an idea so you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, this 100 acres of land can pay for itself, can pay for your home, and create non-performance revenue for you in the future if you understand how to do it. And we teach you how to do it in this course. Easy corporate comprehensive curriculum for new business owners. Hmm? And that doesn't mean that you have to be a new business owner. You could have been in business for years, or maybe your corporate structure was a little different, or maybe you weren't incorporated at all. That's what we walk you through. You owe it to yourself to get this book. I'm not trying to sell you a book because I teach this course. I'm telling you, when you get the book, you may decide, well, I don't have to take the course from her. I have the book. That's fine, because those non-qualifying mortgage lenders that help people that have non-traditional income, they're not predatory and their interest rates are not high, but they are designed with flexible underwriting guidelines to help people with non-traditional income or business owners. They're listed in this book. So if you get this book, you get that list. But with the course, I also introduce you to venture capitalists that go a step further. I'm teaching you stuff in both of these books that I now understand, because I started out teaching it online. And I realized when I got checked that I can't teach it online. So I put them in the form of books so that you can still get the information to streamline what it is that you need. There's mixed pine, there's hardwood. If you know anything about hardwood, and you understand that there is valuable commodity on this land, very valuable commodity on this land. There are multiple deer trails. So if you wanted to lease this land out to a hunting group for recreation, you could, and you could place borders up so that they could only go so far in terms of hunting. And let me tell you, that's really lucrative. Okay. All right, so I think we've gone through everything. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I hope that this has been beneficial to you. It's always my goal to be beneficial, to assist you, because I've been doing this for a long time. And what I've run into is that people have a hard time sometimes moving ahead. Like, they can buy a home for, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, yes. But then when they want to advance, they're gridlocked, they're limited. We show you how to come out of being gridlocked. And if you take a look, if you're on Facebook, look at all the links that I put in there. If you're in the Zoom, look at the links that I put in the chat. Avail yourself to everything that we've made available to you. Call me if you need to. Click the links and register. We look forward to seeing you next week. Graduate to becoming a landowner. Homeownership pre-planning and much, much more. I'm Jacqueline Battle with National Land Realty, saying today, this very moment, what is the right time for you to purchase real estate from me, yours truly. This just in case you're kind of confused. Me, if you need to list your property, baby, I got some references that will show you I can get it done for you, just like that. Call me.